Hi, my name is Gabriel Alexander, and I'll be here presenting you with a slideshow on how to keep your information private on the internet. This is just an essential how to keep your online privacy and security up while you're browsing the internet or using social media or anything like that. So, some of the key steps to understanding digital privacy are that you need to understand that digital privacy um, what that entails. So, digital privacy involves protecting personal data online. Stuff like your, you know, say emails, account information, addresses, stuff like that to kind of try and prevent it from getting out. Your digital footprint, which, can be tracked and exploited. Some key examples of someone's digital footprint are social media, um, internet browsing history, and things like that. And the next step is to understanding digital privacy is just being aware of some of the first steps in protection, which we will cover last. So you need to use strong and unique passwords. So one way to help with security on multiple accounts is using strong and unique passwords, using stuff like complex symbols, capitalization, just stuff that nobody would ever think of off the top of their heads, not like catchphrases or like saying that password with letters back behind it is a bad security issue or a bad password to be using. Um, Another essential way to, try and keep your account secure is to avoid reusing passwords across multiple sites. Say you have a password for Google, you want to avoid using that for stuff like, I don't know, like your emails and everything else, your school accounts and stuff like that. In a way that you can, kind of manage all of these passwords and everything like that is either you can download a secure app on your phone, make sure that it's secure, and then you can take your passwords down there, write down like what site it's for, and then write down a password for it. Or you can even keep a notebook to where you write down what the password is, and then you just keep that log on you at all times and make sure you never really lose it. Because if you lose that, then you'll have to reset all your passwords and start from scratch again. Another key point for privacy on the internet would be enabling two-factor authentication. So, some people might ask, what is two-factor authentication? I don't even know what that is. More likely than not, if you've been using the internet for the past 10 to 15 years, you've done some sort of two-factor authentication. So it's essentially an additional barrier after the password. So say like somebody was trying to get into my Microsoft account, they wouldn't have to just get past the password, say they figured out the password. If they go past the password, then there would still be a line of protection before you access the account saying, hey, are you sure this is you? Or like it will send it to like the owner's phone or some sort of other device asking if this is him or this is you accessing the device. Some good examples of this would be the Authenticator app used by Microsoft and other sites as well, since it's a very trustworthy source. They would send you a mobile code or some sort of biometric scan to ensure that it is you that is logging into the account. This just, like I said before, this just prevents, people from accessing your account even if they have the password, just to make sure they just can't get into it at all. Sometimes it's even essential on some sites to have two-factor authentication because they might be like, hey, our stuff doesn't have the tightest security, but at least it has two-factor authentication. That's the least somebody could do. So one of the points for your digital footprint, as I talked to before, it was social media and limiting personal information. So limiting some of the data that you share online, such as your birthday, addresses, your real-time location. You don't want to post that on social media because it tracks too far back to you. You want to make sure you kind of keep that stuff kind of anonymous with you, posting like pictures and stuff like that, and then posting the time and date of when you took the photo is also a dangerous way to leave out your digital footprint. You want to make sure that while you're using these apps on social media, you use the privacy settings and kind of restrict access to the account as much as you can to make sure that nobody can get to your information too easily, like a job application or something like that. They'll be like, hey, I saw this on your social media that you did something that you maybe didn't want other people to find out. A good example of this will be on Instagram. There's a way to there's a way to set your account to private to where the person that is viewing your account can't view your account without them following you first. So if you go to follow the account and try and get in, the other person who owns the account, the owner of the account, will look and see on their phone that, hey, somebody's trying to get in. You can go ahead and say, hey, no, I don't want them to follow me or something like that. So, just try to limit personal information. Just don't accept random friend requests from people you just don't know, because that's a great security risk. So another way people could get your bank account information, this is a little more in depth here, a little more security intensive. Phishing emails is the easiest way. I've seen that older people usually fall for this, and younger people normally know what a phishing email looks like. Normally, a phishing email is either like a notification from your email or something like that, say like UPS or an Amazon email that looks kind of odd to you. Will send out information saying, hey, we either lost your package or something along those lines, and saying, oh yeah, in order to get your package back, we're going to need your bank information. So, some sites, some apps and stuff like that, they'll have underneath their email that they won't send out stuff like this. They won't send out like, hey, your package was missing or anything like that. Or they'll say that, hey, we'll never request your bank information. That's one way that businesses are kind of fighting against it. But a way that you just ignore them. Ultimately, ignore them, send them your junk mail. Just don't actually interact with these sources of malicious intent. Just make sure they're official websites and official senders and everything like that, and then you should be okay. These you kind of have to go out of your way a little bit to kind of click into these and activate either the malware or the bugs or anything that's in the link that they send. A good way to kind of keep your internet private when you're walking around or even at home is by using a VPN or some type of encrypted connection. So VPNs are essentially like a firewall around whatever device you have it on. Say you have it on your phone and you go to McDonald's and you use the McDonald's Wi-Fi. Everybody has access to McDonald's Wi-Fi, so that means if they have access to the McDonald's Wi-Fi, they have easier access into your phone if you don't have a VPN. So VPNs, even at home, can be used to kind of hide your IP address. Say you're playing an online game and there's a hacker on there, they can find your IP address and kind of track your computer down and have your address and everything like that. So VPNs kind of stop that from happening. Some of the last steps along with that kind of like baseline safety are updates for security software and devices. Each, I want to say twice every month, most devices will have some sort of security update to try and fix some of the holes and bugs and security issues that they might have on the device. Windows has them pretty often. Your Android or Apple phone might have them really, really often as well. Just make sure to go into the settings and just check for updates regularly. I want to say every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, just make sure you do it as kind of often as possible to just keep updated. That way you're not susceptible to any open attacks. Just managing app permissions. Whenever you log into an app, sometimes it'll ask you for permission to use the microphone, the camera, or the contacts. Just make sure the app has some sort of relevancy to those programs before you just openly give access to it, because then it'll create issues like, oh yeah, Facebook actually has access to your phone history or your pictures and stuff like that, and you actually didn't want it to. So just make sure you go into the settings, make sure the manager app, the app permissions are okay, and to your liking. So just stay educated. It's kind of along the lines of those the updates. Just stay in the loop. Check every couple of weeks whenever updates come out, or even if you're not in the loop of updates coming out, just make sure you update your phone every so often. Just find reliable cybersecurity sources, because this updating every single day. Cybersecurity is getting more and more challenging every single day. So just try and avoid risk like that. So in conclusion, protecting your online information. Obviously, it's essential. I kind of gave you examples of way to set up two-factor authentication and strong passwords. Just limit exposure to broad open sites, and just stay informed. All right. Have a good day.